Hey, welcome to the DPP channel, and today I have two games for you. One involving the Culture Gorilla against the Luan and the Tachikaze. So the Granger does go first in this game, running into the bird, milling the top card. If it's a normal unit, he does draw one and drop one additional card. So he does call the Hamsuke to go into Soul to search for the Grade 2. The Lord does right into the Charon here, getting the Quick Shield, a Daigo Quick Shield at that. Let's swing with the Charon. Try checking into a Drag Driver, which is very unfortunate to see. Granger does try to the Grade 2 Hamsuke and then swinging like that. Getting into another Hamsuke. Lord does try into the Mofessa, no Lia Force seen this time. A very passive turn from both players. The Granger does run into the Hamsuke, and given that he does have the Grade 2 and the Grade 1 in the soul, he's able to spawn one more marker by discarding 2 cards. And then searching your deck further for the 2 Hamsukes. So do know that XL2 does really help for Hamsuke because you don't really minus as much as before. So he does search for the Grade 2 and the Grade 1 Hamsuke here, and do note that the Grade 2 Hamsuke is a 14k attacker if you are on a Grade 3 Hamsuke Vanguard. He does commit the Culture Gorilla there. Swing with the Grade 2 Hamsuke first. Does eat it, eating to a damage trigger, and Hamsuke Vanguard will swing for a 2 pass given the quick shoot is used there. A front trigger is used and a draw trigger at that, so it's a damage in, but the Lord does eat to another damage trigger, allow him to secure the turn. He does run to a Drag Driver here, very unfortunate because there's no more Drag Hunt right here. Calling to the Abyssal Hour here, most likely opting for the Soul Blast, given that they are on the same Vanguard grade now. Soul Blast the Charon to draw 1 card. Does hit into a layer 4 here, counter blasting 1 to search for the deck. To search for a Grade 1 to be placed, and he does opt for the Charon. The Charon will counter charge 1, paying back the resource that he expend. Calling yet another layer 4 to a Abyssal Hour. And he does opt for the Soul Blast. So currently Lord doesn't have any soul left. He does swing at the Culture Gorilla first because it's a threat to him. Just shaking into a critical trigger here, and a Drag Hard Lord. So if there's a next turn from the Lord, he can secure the right back again. But the turn does pass to the Great Nature. And now he does right into the Isabel here. Looking at the top 3, so that he can actually manipulate what's going on for the mill later. He does call the Hamden here. And the Grade 1 bird. So Hamden's skill will proc, allowing him to counter blast 1, put 1 card to soul. And if there's 2 Excel circles or more, you can draw 1, and both of them plus 10k. So the Grade 1 bird does use the skill here to actually mill the top card of his deck. And because he mill a normal unit, he can draw 1 and drop 1 card. And the Hamden, second Hamden will be committed, and the Culture Gorilla will be committed here. So using the same skill again to give 10k to both of the units. It does use the Isabel skill here to look at the top 3 again, and then giving the front row additional 10k power. So this allows him to achieve the threshold for the Gorilla, and the Gorilla will be able to withstand most of the rear guards that he has. So he does swing with the Hamsuke first, which is just a 33k power, or 15k guard will be required. So he does intercept with the Lia 4 there. A 32k power Hamden. Another 32k. He just into a damage trigger here. And this will be a 33k power, or 15k guard will be required. He does swing the Isabel for 1 pass here. And the Lord does gamble for the 1 pass. He does dash into a draw trigger here, but actually powering up the Hamsuke instead of the Isabel. Because he does want to do this. He does want to use the Culture Corridor skill to actually withstand all the 25k above Ray Guards. And they all withstand, and then retiring all the opponent's field. And there will be 5 more attacks upcoming. And they do require 10k, 10k, and a 15k guard. So we do not eat any damage trigger here, and the Lord should be falling here. And the game does conclude. Moving on to game 2, and we do have Great Nature versus Tachikaze. Tachikaze does go first in this game, riding into the Great One here. And because we do see actually join to the Great One here, he's actually considering whether he should commit it. He does decide to pass the turn instead, and the Great Nature will be riding to the Great Tree Searcher here, getting the quick shield, and now looking at top 5. And he does hit to the Hamsuke here. And does decide to drop the Great Tree Hamsuke. And we do see him actually calling the Great One Hamsuke here for the aggression. Just checking into a huge trigger there. And we do see one Anger Blader going down. So Hamsuke does go into the deck. I'm going to the Soul Story to search for the Great 2 Hamsuke. And the Tachikaze will ride to the Mega Rex here, calling the Sweeper. And the Great One, as mentioned earlier. So he does gauge to the Sweeper there. And he does call the Cat to gauge 1 more to the Sweeper. So the Sweeper will be guaranteed at least 3 gauge this turn. And he does call the draw trigger here to be a fodder for the Mega Rex skill. So the Cat does attack using his skill to actually give 1 more gauge to the Sweeper. The tanky card will be required, and he does no guard. Mega Rex does attack, and there will be a 1 pass there, and a critical trigger will be found, pushing more damage to the GM player, and the Sweeper will swing again, pushing him to effectively 4 damage already. But will the GN actually concede here? But no, he actually turned on the aggression, calling the Great 2 Bird, looking at top 7 for 1 Great 3 and plussing 3k. He does hit into the Culture Gorilla there. He does swing with the Vanguard first for 14k, and a front trigger will be found here, and a second Anger Blader does go down. The last attack will be swinging for 22k power, a 15k guard will be required. Tachi does reconsider and decide to eat the damage, but he does eat into a 3rd Anger Blader. This is unfortunate. Does he have the last one in hand? He actually go for the G assist here, but he does found the 4th Anger Blader there. Very, very lucky of him. And the ban list does help because he is now allowed to play 4 Anger Bladers, 3 of them being in damage zone and 1 getting into the hand. Riding to the Anger Blader here. Going for the XL2. Because the second Sweeper he has. calling the cat to gauge 1 to the sweeper. Using the grade 1 to actually gauge to the cat instead, and then using the skill to give it plus 5k. And then use the Anger Bader skill to actually give to the sweeper the gauge. Again to the cat. And a third cat will be committed, gauging it to the sweeper, and the cat will be forced to feed the cat. Swinging the cat first for 19k power, which will be a 15k gun. Swinging the sweeper. I'll be swinging the second sweeper, and this should be game. Thank you for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing if you do enjoy the content.